I'm Danny.
And this is Niche.
And we are Damsel in the Six, and we are officially celebrating our 1 year anniversary.
Yes, and to honor our 1 year anniversary, we thought let's do something different. You usually just hear our voices on our weekly podcast, but we thought let's introduce a video and you can actually see us in our element of just...
And our beautiful faces, obviously.
Yes. Or just, like girl chat. We have it all the time, even off the podcast. We just can't seem to stop talking. Like, there's just so much to talk about. So what we also enjoy talking about is Damsel in the Six, where we've been, where we're going to. And we thought, let's include, our support, our fans, our listeners, like everyone, family, friends in that discussion today. And you can learn a bit more about us. And yeah, let's just make this a nice intimate video.
Yeah. A little different, but we hope that you'll like it.
Exactly. And let's cheers to that.
Yes, absolutely. 1 year of D6.
1 year. And I have to shout out these amazing glasses. They have our logo on them and they're personalized with their name. Shout out to Lori from Miami who brought these for us. Such a nice gift. And man, that was definitely an accomplishment, I'd say, for sure.
It's official when you have your company name and your actual personal name on a glass
gifted to you that you didn't pay for. Yeah. It's much more special.
Yeah. It's pretty official.
Yeah,
so
pretty
thank
official.
you for that.
Thank you. So what we're going to talk about today is, as we mentioned, kind of like a year in review. So what should we start off with?
Challenges.
Challenges.
Yes.
Okay. Some challenges. Okay. So one thing, challenge/learning lesson. Danny and I are super ambitious, and we so many ideas. And this is one thing we're always preaching about: is you have to do in order to learn, right? So you have to make mistakes in order to grow from them. And so one thing is that we introduced all the when we came together, which we totally have to talk about how we met,
for sure.
And how this came about, but. When we came together, we already had all these ideas of all these plans that individually we thought we'd want to do if we were ever in this position. And so one of them is throwing an event, and that was the Speak Into Existence party. We had mentioned it on a podcast in our earlier days, and then you probably never heard of it again. And I'd say the challenge there was we tried to put together an event, and we had all the best intentions behind it. It was an event which will still happen because it's still an amazing event, but the timing wasn't there. And so the challenge we ran into was budget. We are still self-funded, but in this specific event, still being self-funded, when it comes down to venue, the way we wanted to execute the vision, it was pretty expensive. And so that meant the ticket price was going to be a little bit more expensive than we really would wanted to have happened. So we went for it. We're like, no, but the value they'll get out of this is so great. I've paid more for events than I've paid lots of money to go to these events, but we didn't want it to be about the money. We wanted it to be about the value. So we put it out there. And how are our ticket sales like? Yeah, none. Not a single ticket. I think we left it up for maybe 1 or 2 weeks.
Yeah, about a week and a half.
A week and a half?
Yeah.
Not a single ticket sale. We both were getting a little nervous and didn't really want to bring it up. And then we both were just, I don't even know who initiated it, but it was kind of one of those things where we're just so about that event. And then we're yeah. So I think we're about thinking the same thing. It's not the time for it. So the point of that is that, it was a challenge in the sense of having all these ambitions and wanting to get them done when we thought it was ready to, but timing and patience is everything. And so it was definitely a huge learning lesson because we did remove the event. We so plan on having it in the future, just when timing is better, when the budget is a little bit better, so that we don't have to charge you guys so much more than we would have wanted to. Because we also don't want it to be a money thing, and that's the reason why people can't attend. Because if we had our way, it would be free. That's not why we do Damsel in the Six. We do it so we can, share our life stories and hear yours, and hope that we can impact people in some way. So I would say that was a challenge, but there's positivity in that, in the fact that there was learnings.
Absolutely. And I think Niche really, hit the nail on the head when she said that we really want to make sure that any event we have is financially accessible. We don't want to be out here charging like, $70, $80. If we can make it less expensive for you, because realistically, the event was going to be awesome. It was going to be like a vision board type thing where everyone speaks all of their ideas and hopes and dreams and aspirations into existence. And yeah, it's going to happen. Like
it's still going to happen.
It's definitely going to happen. We just need to, figure out a few things before we can get there. But,
exactly. So, it's not forgotten for that person who did email us and say, hey, what happened to that event? And we're just kind of like, oh, what? It's going to happen. So thank you for supporting us. And so we did, after the fact, have one person who inquired about it. So that made us feel good. But, we can't do an event for one person. Yeah. So, were there any other challenges?
A challenge that I can think of is our podcast situation when we first started. We didn't bring it. We should have actually brought our studio. We're gonna post this on amazing. We're gonna post it on our social networks eventually. But as Nish mentioned, we are completely self-funded, which means that we try to be crafty where we can. So we'll post a picture of our sound booth studio situation, but very cost efficient. But maybe not the most professional one where, inviting guests on our show and stuff like that, but it was literally a laundry basket with the bottom cut out, and we glued some mattress pads to the side. It worked great.
It did. And I know, what the challenges I definitely could say were, I don't know why, I don't see it as a challenge. I saw it as like, I loved it. I thought we were so creative in putting that together. But you're right. It was a short-term Band-Aid solution for now where we're at. There's no way we could use it. Like, that definitely was a challenge. No, and if anything, after that, we stopped using the booth is when we did get guests, right? And you're right, we couldn't use it. And so in that moment, we're like hopping around spaces. The sound quality wasn't that great. Our booth was actually bomb. But like when we didn't have the booth, it wasn't so bomb. Right. And so that was a huge challenge. And so now we're in this amazing studio that...
Yeah, the learning from that is we found this studio, Never Sleeps Network, shout out to them. And our sound quality has definitely glowed all the way up. So, challenge and a learning, for sure.
Exactly. And you know what? It's one of those things where, like, just be creative and whatever you get to work, there's nothing wrong with that as a solution. So, that's a good one. What else was there?
Maybe about our Instagram.
So... For that one, I would call that
maybe this is the transparency part of this video.
Yeah, transparency. So, yes. And it is, definitely falls into the segue of a transparency / challenge in the sense where we have 3,600 followers.
We're in the high threes.
Right? And so, some people might wonder, Danny, how did you get so many followers?
We're just that great. Our content is just that great.
Like, it just happened overnight. Literally, day one, we had, actually 4,000 followers, I believe. So, the truth about that is, did we buy followers?
We did not buy followers.
We did not.
So
we would never buy followers. Yeah. We're not like that. But we did do something a lot smarter. In my opinion.
So, long story short, in a previous life, a few friends and I, we had a business. It was a hair extension company. We had a lot of followers. We were around for a few years. We decided to put that company to rest, and our Instagram account was just sitting there, idle, with 4,000 followers. So, listeners or viewers at this point, do you A, start a company account from scratch with 0, or B, you utilize that account that has 4,000 followers just sitting there and just change a username? You choose B.
Everyone choose B.
Yeah.
Everyone. And you know what? It's just smart marketing. It's like, if you're going to play, ads in a movie theater, you'd play them in the one where people are already sitting. You know what I mean? That was a weird analogy because, whatever, ads play in every theater. No one's there or not. But you get what I'm trying to say. You market to the audience you have available and don't start from scratch. So,
and to be fair,
if you don't have to.
And to be fair, the target audience, like I said, was a hair extension company. So women usually use hair extensions. It made sense. It made sense. Totally, it was a smart business choice.
It was. But we thought it'd be really cool to talk about it here because ultimately we average between 2 likes to 25 likes, and nothing wrong with that. But I guess the one thing would have been like, you know, you think, oh my gosh, like we're gonna use this account with like 4,000 people, like about 400 dropped off. We weren't really what they were looking for. That's okay.
They were looking for hair extensions. They were looking for weave.
Right? I ain't mad at that. Thank you for the reminder of the people who stayed and stuck it out. But still goes to show that regardless, our likes are still pretty organic likes and our actual listeners who listen on a regular basis. So thank you for that. We noticed that. And yeah, it's all about transparency. So
absolutely. And our last transparency moment we should probably talk about. How about our listens situation?
Oh yeah, investigator Danny over here has something to share about that.
So actually, Niche put into existence on air on maybe the episodes in like either the early 30s, it was the early 30s, that we really wanted to reach 5,000 by our 1 year, which is today, November 11th.
Yeah.
So, of course, me being like super competitive, us being super competitive, we're like, hey, we're gonna do this. So we started posting it everywhere, you know, in every Facebook group possible, LinkedIn, whatever. And our listens were actually growing quite frequently. Like, we jumped, in the month of October, we jumped quite a bit, to a point that it started getting suspicious.
Very suspicious. And we're looking at each other like, how can this be? Like we believe in what we do, but like still.
We're also like, realistic with ourselves.
Yeah.
So I decided to look into the analytics, and I found that we have some bots. And for anyone who doesn't know, bots are those nice little accounts that just want to throw 10 listens here, 20 listens here, 50 listens here. So as of today, we're at like almost 4,900 listens.
Yeah.
How many of those are bots?
Not sure, right?
Yeah.
Did we get the full amount of number? I know at one point we checked and we saw 200 of them were bots.
In 1 week.
But that was in 1 week. Okay, so we don't know the lifetime of it.
We don't know the lifetime value, but the bots are a newish thing. So we are still, I feel confident in saying organically with like real humans, we're 4,000 plus.
Okay, that's amazing.
In and around that area.
That's good. Hey, we don't discriminate. Human, non-human, you want to like our podcast? Like, I ain't mad at it. But I definitely am not going to no longer boast about, hey, we've hit this amount of listens. I mean, we will. We should celebrate our wins, but it's good to know that because I'm like, oh, okay.
We're humble. We're being humble and sitting down.
Yeah, someone out there on the internet wants to help us, or these bots just have a mind of their own, which is a whole other topic I don't want to get into because that's kind of scary. Right? Because we didn't pay for those bots. Like, we're not paying for listens. So.
I think it's their form of advertising, to be fair, because people actually buy listens on SoundCloud.
Wow.
But that's like you can buy followers on Instagram, right? So
it's like when Google Ads is like, here, take this $50 credit to loop you in and buy more.
Exactly.
So, right. They're giving us free listens, thinking that we'd be like, hey,
we want more.
Yeah.
But we don't want more. We want humans.
Yeah, we want humans.
We're trying to change some lives, though.
Exactly. Okay, that's so good.
Okay.
Awesome. Good.
So maybe we can talk about wins.
Wins, yes, wins. Okay.
What would you say is your biggest win of our 1 year?
Biggest win. Okay. Well, one of them will definitely be the Gina Gustine Center. That was a huge win. That was amazing. It was an amazing experience. Beyond just the event that we attended, which I'll tell you a bit about. It started from like the beginning of the day when we got there. And so, okay, I'll tell you about the event. The event was a workshop that we co-led with Marsha Brown. She's VP of the Gina Gustine Center. She also is a Ryerson grad.
Which we are as well.
Exactly. We are Ryerson grads. And when we rolled up that day to the workshop at the Gina Gustine Center, the photographers who were filming the Ryerson alumni video and where they are right now, of course, we're also from Ryerson. I remembered the guy. I was like, wait, you were like in my year. I remember you. Or like he was attending Ryerson at the same time. But I thought it was just such like a powerful day because we're like in this like surrounding of like all like RU grads, and it just felt like homely and nice. And so indirectly we were there to, accomplish Ryerson. Not accomplish Ryerson, sorry. We were there to celebrate like Ryerson alumni and where they are at work and what they do in their day-to-day. But we also were genuinely leading a women's workshop, young ladies workshop. And so I feel like that was super special because any opportunity in life I can to volunteer or provide any assistance or help to someone who truly wants it or truly is in need of it, and they're actually looking to make a difference or even just understand. I love those opportunities where I can actually feel like, okay, like I can share my story and I can help you, or even vice versa, I can learn from you. Like any of those engagements, like that's what I'm drawn to. And so this workshop was really cool because it allowed us to do that. It allowed us to share some motivational stories with the young women and just motivate them to live their best lives and everything that we stand for. However, you know, we do cater to an older audience. These girls were like 7 to 11.
Yep.
And so, yeah, like it was really awesome to do that, and to also do it with other fellow Ryerson alumni was pretty cool. But really the most important focus was the fact that, you know, we can inspire these young ladies' lives, even just for a moment. That's what we're all about. And they're going to grow up to be, you know, big young women as well. And we're hoping that, you know, they have Damsel in 6. If Damsel in 6 isn't around at that time, that they have somewhere else that they can go to listen for their own, like, you know, real life issues or wins or anything that they want that can support where they're at in life. I hope that that's there for them. But even in that moment, to be able to speak to them where they're at was pretty cool. So yeah, no, that was really special to me. So that was a huge win, I'd say, for sure.
I agree. And you know, like you said, like the children are the future, right?
Yeah.
So it was just awesome that we were able to, we had like an I am statement type exercise where the girls wrote, you know, I am smart, I am confident, I am beautiful, I am intelligent, and they talked about what they wanted to be when they grow up, and they were just so confident, and it just blew me away that like,
yes,
you're like 7 years old and like you know what you're gonna be, and sure that might change, but the fact that you're still so confident in yourself, like,
it's so good.
it was really cute.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that as well.
And like their who they wanted to be statements were also different.
Yeah.
Like scientists to an artist, but like different kind of artists, like a musician. I want to actually be like a painter. I want to sing. I don't know. It was just like they were so creative in their own ways, and you could see their little personalities, yet so strong. So shout out to the Gina Gustine Center. We don't have like a partnership in that sense, so this is totally not an ad, but I really love what they're doing there for the young women, and I love that they allowed us to be a part of that. So for sure. Yeah. How about you? Any big wins that you can think of that come to mind?
Yeah, I would say honestly, just the consistent win is when people reach out on our like LinkedIn, Facebook, even like WhatsApp messages, like even when our friends and family reach out, just to kind of reassure us that what we're doing matters and that they appreciate it and that they can apply it to their lives and that it's helped them grow and help them realize like new things. That to me has just meant the world, because, you know, Nisha and I, like, we do put a lot of work into D6. Like, I know that people probably don't really know, if you don't have a podcast, you might not know like the amount of work and research that goes into it, but it's a lot of work. And, you know, it just is really reassuring that all that effort that we're putting in, we're having a positive outcome, and we really are changing people's lives according to the messages that we're getting. So
yeah.
I think that has consistently been a highlight, and we get them like every week sometimes. Like, it just makes me really happy that people continue to listen to us and they're learning, and they really do appreciate our transparency.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, you know, to tie into that win is it's both self-serving to us as well, because when we have to prepare and put that together, we're learning ourselves. If we dive into, you know, this topic, or we think, okay, we're going to prepare and talk about this, and we want to make sure we're giving you all angles. So not just my point of view, but we'll go online and search it up, and then we end up finding even more than we anticipated. And so before you know it, like, we are teaching ourselves as well, and so we're able to share that. And so it's a transaction. And so not only are, you know, these people finding comfort in what we're sharing, but we're also learning as well, and we're getting that support. And so it's like a dedicated amount of time we've put together to our own personal growth, and it's consistent. Like, it happens every week and we can't avoid it. So I kind of love it in a way. It's like, you know, we can't run away from our own mental health and care. So I love it. I think that, you know, it's a huge win. It's a bigger win than I could have ever thought of, that I would put this much focus on a consistent basis into being a better person in my day-to-day life. So that truly is a win. Yeah.
I agree. And, you know, like Mish said, we're not out here like just kind of preaching things that we don't know about or that don't have to do with our lives. Like, every time we deliver a podcast topic, it's something that we're interested in or that we want to learn so we can grow from. So like you said, like, it's enriching our lives and apparently enriching your lives as well at the same time. So we really do appreciate that aspect. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And like this case, so this is a perfect segue into like, how did we meet? How did this come about? Did you want to take a first stab at this?
Yeah, for sure. So I have a good friend who is cousins with Niche.
Yeah.
And this good friend of mine, she would bring Niche around to events all the time. And you know, while Niche and I, we didn't spend like an extended period of time together, I could see that we had some things in common, like in terms of our ambition and our drive and maybe our extraness. Like I could tell that we had a lot in common. So Niche was working nearby to me, nearby to where I live, and we said, you know what, let's actually have lunch one day or dinner or something, coffee, whatever. Yeah. We need to meet up. So we did. And what was supposed to just be like a casual, like, oh, hey, you know, you're in the area, let's grab dinner, turned into a let's bounce ideas off each other. Let's, you know, talk about the things that we've wanted to accomplish, you know, entrepreneurial ventures, everything like that. And then it just kind of started snowballing into, wait, is there an opportunity here? I think there's an opportunity here.
Yeah, in our first dinner. And like, we had been seeing each other around for years. For me personally, like, I remember you back at like high school times, because I know you're like creepy, I don't remember you, but that's okay. I would always go to my cousin's birthdays or any events that she had, and I remember Danny there, and remember all of my cousin's friends. Like, so, you know, not just you, you're like so creepy, like I'm just watching you. But like, I do remember like the people who would be there, and Danny's been there for a while. But as Danny said, like it was friends of acquaintance at that point. And but then eventually, like when she was living downtown, I was living downtown, we see each other a little bit more, and it was like, just like she said, we have to connect. And it took us a couple years to finally make that commitment and step to like, let's connect. I think my cousin was actually out of town when we finally did it.
Yeah, randomly, she's in Jamaica.
And then we're like, let's have that dinner we've been saying we're gonna have. And then it just meant to be just like an organic conversation of, hey, like, how do you like living downtown? Like, where do you work? Like, just, you know, any regular dinner you'd have with anyone that, you know, you're trying to catch up with. But we're not regular. Or, like, we're like, I don't know what to call us, but it's amazing. Like, we're just so motivated, we're so ambitious, and we just felt something deeper than this is not just supposed to be a conversation, but it just so naturally fell into a conversation of, like, just like Danny said, of how, like, business opportunities, where we see ourselves, and before you know it, by the end of that dinner, we had agreed on starting a business.
We're talking about names, domains, like,
yes, exactly.
Already.
Exactly, and all in what we're doing now. We both had passions of having a platform where we can share our own stories, and because we felt like it's kind of taboo in a way to talk about young women talking about their true feelings and what they're really going through, that's actually deep and meaningful, and that it's really hidden, and but it's yet so normal. And so we're really trying to challenge that norm and make it okay to talk about real life issues. And the best way we can do that is share our own stories, right? So that's really how Damsel in 6 became about. That's what we hope to continue to do. That's what we're, you know, trying our best to accomplish right now. So, like, it just happens so naturally, and it still feels so right.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And this is year 1 of Damsel in the 6, but we plan to do a lot more.
Yeah.
Which is the perfect segue into the future.
Exactly, into the future of Damsel in the 6. So, future is definitely events.
For real.
When, we don't know, but that is our goal. It's all about timing and patience, not on our time, but when the timing is there. But of course, always share your feedback, email us, comment on this video on what you'd like to hear from us event-wise, and if you're interested, and because that also helps us as well. But definitely events. What else?
Eventually, Damsel in the 6 is obviously Toronto, but if we can expand to other Canadian cities, North American cities, Europe, Asia, like all of the cities.
Exactly. We would love that. Like, if we can, like you said, expand, whether it's partnership or if anyone who's watching this would love to do it in their city and wants to connect. I mean, that's always something that we could hope for, because it's not about us. It's really about everyone else having that outlet where they can relate to. And so, Toronto is so diverse that I feel like anyone, anywhere, for the most part, can, not anyone, anywhere, but many people in many places can probably watch and relate in some way, but cultures are different around the world, and it would be nice where if we could influence someone else or encourage someone else to do the same thing in their city and really create that space for people to, you know, feel comfortable and not alone, because you're never alone. There's always someone going through what you're going through. And it's just so much easier when you can share it. So yeah, if we can make that worldwide, that would be amazing.
Agreed, because like you said, we're all human, right?
Yeah.
Everyone is going through very similar issues or challenges that Nisha and I share on the podcast on a weekly basis.
Oh, our whole life story.
Yo, y'all know kind of quite a bit of our business.
A little too much.
To be
a
honest.
little too much.
But that's why we're happy to, we're more than happy to share and be transparent. If it's going to help you grow, it's going to help us grow by acknowledging things that have been challenging along the way for us.
Yeah.
We all win. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I think we've addressed our wins.
Yes.
Addressed some challenges.
Wins, challenges, transparency. Also, what's next?
What's next? So, I think we've covered some ground there.
I think we have.
Yeah, if there's anything else we'd love to hear about, like drop a comment. We can always do a video part 2. But thank you once again for always supporting us, for sharing love and support. Please continue to share that with us. It means so much to us, and it does give us a little bit more added fuel to the fire, because the fire is definitely lit on our day-to-day. And also always feel free to let us know what you'd love to hear on the podcast, because I jump on that. Like when someone sends me a comment or an email, comment or an email says, hey, could you talk a bit about this? Like I prioritize it. Okay, we're talking about it next episode, So we love doing that. And feel free, leave your name, say if you want your name to be anonymous, that's totally okay. But thank you for watching this video. We probably should do this more often.
Yes,
yeah.
Because we're always hiding behind microphones, so we will definitely show our faces more often.
Yes, and if not, video, photos, but yeah, we have nothing to hide. Team transparency.
We really are very transparent, maybe too transparent.
Maybe
but again, thank you for joining us, and cheers to 1 year.
Cheers.